Namaste, welcome. This is Abhinav. I hope you are doing well. In this video, I am going to share about the three jewels in Buddhism. What are the three jewels? What is the meaning? What is my learning? And how I am implementing that in my practice. So, three jewels is basically uh, in what we call as, for example, I asked one spiritual teacher once who was, with whom I was doing a home vipassana back in the COVID time, and it was Sean and Wright. And I and The interview is also there in the on this channel. My interview with him, my conversations with him on mindfulness. So basically, I asked him about doing spiritual protection. Like in a lot of traditions, there are a lot of elaborate things that you do for spiritual protection. So I said that while I do meditation, what is the kind of a spiritual protection I should take? And he said that in Buddhism they use this taking refuge in the three jewels, right? Three jewels. These are the spiritual protection, not protection as such, but that is what they seek a refuge in, right? So what are these three jewels? Three jewels are: I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the dharma, I take refuge in the sangha, right? So Buddha, dharma, and sangha, these are the three jewels, right? I have made certain pointers on each of the points of my learnings, so I will just take them through. So taking refuge means, it's like what Thai says is, a small baby is there, and in the womb, and he or she is totally protected, right? So when there are so many storms that we undergo in the world, we express an intention to come back and take refuge in these three things, right? So that is like taking refuge, coming back, right? It's like there is a storm, and it's heavily raining outside, and you uh, after making all the effort, you come home, you enter your home, you close the doors and the windows, then you light a fire, right? And then in the warmth of the fire, or maybe you can switch on some heater or something, and you make a cozy space for yourself. That is like coming back and taking refuge, right? So what do we take refuge in, right? Now it is like, it's not like in Buddhism only it is done, or Buddhism is first of all not a religion, it's Buddha's teachings. But those who practice his teachings take refuge. After I started practicing Buddha's teachings, I started have taken these three refuges. Whether you take it or not, I'm just sharing basically what these teachings, what these refuges mean. So the first thing is, I take refuge in the Buddha. Now, Buddha is not a person, right? Buddha said, never find me in a name or form, right? You will never find me, right? Buddha is awareness, right? Buddha is understanding. Buddha is love and compassion. Now, this Buddha of understanding, of love, of compassion, that is there in all of us, right? Even in the most heinous of the criminals, right? It is there. It's only that this Buddha seed, the Buddha existing in this seed form, is not yet touched. So when I take refuge in the Buddha, I basically am going back to the Buddha that is there in me, right? And I am going back to the awareness and the love and the compassion. The Buddhist monk, brilliantly says this, and this thing has is always there with me, that our true spiritual protection is love and compassion, right? If love is there in us, if compassion is there in us, then nothing can harm us, right? So that is what I touch, the Buddha in me, I touch the awareness in me. What happens is that, our biggest problem, our biggest danger, we are the biggest dangers to ourselves. Our own resentment, anger, blame, lust, cravings, all these tendencies, they are the actual enemies. There are actually no enemies outside. If you have these enemies inside, the greater you have these tendencies, the greater you will find the similar thing which is outside. What is outside is only a reflection of what is there in me. So when I take refuge in the Buddha, I basically uh, want to like keep those all things away, and I come back to the Buddha nature in me, and I seek refuge in that Buddha nature, of that wisdom, of that understanding of that love, right? Okay. Um, there was something that I read in the course of research of preparing this video is the Buddha of refuge is not only the historical figure Shakyamuni, but all the myriad Buddhas that have come before and that have come after and will be coming, right? So Buddha always said this one very important thing is that contrary to what other masters and other teachers said that I am the only one and you have to just worship me, I will only to take you to salvation. Buddha said there is nothing like Buddha never promised salvation, right? Buddha just said that I am giving you this technique to free yourself from suffering, not to get any salvation or anything, right? So, and Buddha said that I am only one Buddha. There are hundreds of thousands of Buddha that have come before me, millions, and there are millions of Buddhas that will come after me, right? So when we seek refuge in the Buddha, we actually seek refuge in the wisdom of all these masters and teachers, awakened masters and teachers that were there, are there, and will come in the future generations, right? That's like the very expansive meaning of this thing. It's not like the Buddha, the figure, the name, right? So then those questions will be there. Do I have to become a Buddhist or not? There is no Buddhist. There is no Buddhism, right? There is only awareness, which is represented by Buddha, right? It's like unconditional love, which is represented by Jesus, right? Okay. Then coming to dharma, right? I take refuge in the dharma. Dharma is the living the right path, right? Now the right path, we have taken all the wrong path. We have built karmas, and these karmas are causing us to be born again and again. This cycle of birth and death is continuing. Now that I have awareness, I will try my best to the little extent that I can is to lead a right life. I may not succeed, I may fail, but I will keep on trying, right? So the Buddha's path of dharma, the teachings on dharma is basically, if you see, the main teachings are the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Now in that actually the entire Buddha's teachings are like that forms the base of the entire thing, right? So basically I seek refuge in the right way of living. So whatever be my life situation, whatever be the storms that I am facing in my life, I will follow the Noble Eightfold Path: right action, right diligence, right understanding, right view, right mindfulness, right? I will follow that path. I take refuge in following that path, right? Okay. Now and another way is that Noble Eightfold Path I practice in the Plum Village tradition. So what Thai, the Buddhist monk, did was that he kind of modernized the Noble Eightfold Path, the text, into something called a 5 mindfulness trainings, right? Which is based on the same Noble Eightfold Path. So that is also a very good reference point if you want to go through or have a look. So I'll put the link in the description. You can go on that website and you can see the 5 mindfulness trainings. So that is there, a commitment to that right path. Third is sangha. Sangha is a community. Thai is said that the future of Buddha, right? So there was Buddha and his teachings were there and he gave all the teachings. But he said that Thai said that the future of Buddha and the Buddha's teachings is a community. A community will be the living Buddha, right? Community who practices Buddha's teachings, who practices the right way of living, will be the living Buddha. So I take refuge in the Sangha means, what is a Sangha? Sangha is a community. Originally it was of monks and nuns, but then it got extended to laymen and laywomen, like people like us who are into householder duties, right? So it's a community of people who come together for the shared purpose, and who have the shared interest in Buddha's teachings and mindfulness and practicing the dharma. So they come together and they share and they learn and they meditate together. In that community, Buddha and Dharma are present. So what it is like, these things are inter-are. There is like, everything, one thing. So Sangha contains Dharma and Buddha. Buddha awareness, if you are aware, that contains the Sangha and the Dharma. So everything, even if you pick up one thing and you follow it diligently, That includes all the other things. So what you can do is that if you are interested, you can participate in sangha, right? Sangha, what it does is that if you are feeling low or if you are feeling demotivated, sometimes we have these cycles. Sometimes we are feeling very high, sometimes we are feeling very low. And then what happens is that what this sangha does is that it raises our all of us's energy level, right? If someone is feeling low and someone is feeling high in the group, it increases, the collective energy of the sangha uplifts everyone. And sangha, this very very important thing is about the company. If you are in a company of good people, if you're a company of people who practice right way of living and the dharma, automatically good qualities spring up in you, right? And opposite is also true. If you are in a company of bad people, then you catch those tendencies. Unless your mindfulness, the power of mindfulness, the quality of mindfulness is very very strong in you. If it's not that strong, then you will get caught up in those things. So what we need to do is that take some time out to participate in the sangha meetings. Lot of these sanghas now, they are online, they practice online. I am also a part of several sanghas. I also want to set up my own sangha, right? But I'm like finding like-minded people. Once I find them, some like-minded people, then I will start a sangha. It's on my list. I'm just planning when I can start it, right? Okay. Then if you want to practice in the Plum Village tradition, there is a website called plumline.org, which has a list of all the online sanghas. So you can check. I will put the link in the description. Or there are any other sanghas also, if you think you can join, right? So important thing is that maybe once in a week or twice in a week, join a sangha, participate, meditate with a group of people, right? Because if we only do the work within us, no, what happens sometimes, if our energy goes down, we can be distracted from the path, or we can be also leave our practice. So it should not be. Once we have got the path, then we should follow the path, right? So if I have come till now to the Buddha's teachings on mindfulness, compassion, understanding, I don't want to distract myself. This life, I just want to just go deep into these teachings, understand and practice them in my day. Practicing is the really hard part, right? So the participation in sangha, participation in a community with like-minded people, I also get motivated, to stay on the path. So sangha is very important. Now, few other points I've just written in them. Traditionally, these jewels are traditionally recited as three times. So three times I seek refuge in the dharma, a Buddha. I seek refuge in the dharma. Seek refuge in the sangha. This thing you'd say three times, right? This is traditional thing. If you want to do it only once, that is also fine, right? But from a in a more deeper way, you can assimilate these statements when you practice it slowly and you do it three times. Now, Buddha's last teaching was, be an island unto yourself. Don't look outside, right? Don't look outside, right? Even a spiritual teacher or even a teaching, no matter how enlightened or that may seem, Buddha always said that the Buddha, dharma and sangha, the triple gems, they are all inside us, right? When we practice mindful walking, when we practice mindful breathing, these three things get activated in us, right? So just seek the light in yourself, right? Be in a sangha, be in a group, find a teacher, spiritual teacher, but the onus is on yourself, right? Don't look for kind of any support outside, right? You have to just find it within yourself. Okay. As I said, every time you practice mindful walking, mindful breathing, you've already taken refuge. So how I do this is that I have this bell. Maybe during the video also there was a top time where the bell was there. So generally, while this video is not going on, I just take a break and I do the three mindful breathing, right? Three mindful breathing is basically I come back to myself. That is again, it's not that you have to say, I seek refuge in the Buddha, I seek refuge in the Dharma. Every time I practice mindfulness, I come back to my breathing. That is where I am actually taking refuge in the three triple gem, right? Okay. As I said, then this point I have covered. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha are inter-are. Even one thing you choose, like Buddha, that means living in awareness, living in mindfulness. You are practicing everything. Even if like you are a part of a community, a harmonious community, a sangha, you are practicing everything. So even if you practice on one thing, it's three things are interrelated. Now, practical steps how you can use, how we can use it, is that these three refuges is that use it if you resonate with Buddha's teachings. Then what you can do is that you can take this refuge at the, maybe once as you wake up in the morning and before you go to the bed. During the day, anytime you feel down, demotivated, you can take this refuge. What I do is that before starting of my meditation, I always do this three refuges before I start a meditation. So that's like a routine for me, and this is how I use the three refuges till now. Maybe I will include it in other parts of the day, but right now I do it at the time of the start time of the meditation. Other ways what I use is using it as form of a mindfulness bell, right? Basically using the mindfulness bell. When I use the mindfulness bell, every 15 minutes I have configured it on my laptop. There is a free extension that is available, a mindfulness bell. Lot of extensions are available. Chrome extension you can use, have a mindfulness bell, come back to your breathing, right? Okay. So okay, so these were the points. I hope this gave some context, some clarity to you on what are the three refuges, what are the triple gem, three refuges, three treasures in Buddhism that are used. I hope you like these videos. If there are any topics that you want me to make the videos, do share in the comments below, or any feedback, any thoughts, any reflections that you have on this video, do share it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.